This entire team has been lifted tonight by Odell Beckham. This is sick. Put this to music.
Rad League podcast. Thomas Power, how are you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
All right. We are joined today, May 7th, with one of the Rad League's biggest fan, Tom Power. You've been a supporter of Andy's love life, but you've been following the Rad League for a couple years now as well. First, welcome. Second, how are things? What do you think of this NFL offseason?
Well, I just want to say I am the guy who retweets every tweet. I am the biggest fan. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to look at some of these players. I obviously have my own fantasy team, so just being here tonight and talking football is a great thing. So we'll see who I pick and see if I can get in the Rad League in the expansion next year. All right.
Okay. What an intro here. Wow. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the first round. I've sent you the Rad League draft order post the lottery, and then as well who each team in the first round is keeping. And then you're going to mock our first round for us. I have given you the top 20 or so ranked players available according to Fantasy Pros. And then you took that list. You might have added a couple guys. You might have taken a couple guys off. So I don't know exactly who you're working with. We got an unbiased round one mock. First, though, what jumps out to you when I sent you the keepers? Is there some teams you're looking at that you're like, that team could win the Rad League this year? Some teams you're not so sure about?
Well, you know what? I've never played a keeper league, but if I had to have keepers on any team, it would be figure it out. Jamar Chase, I don't even know what to say. That's one of the best wide receivers to have, obviously. And Saquon Barkley, I'm a big Eagles fan. So I actually think that, this year it's going to be a good year for us. So
Yeah.
figure it out. I do like.
You're a three-time champion of the Rad League, winningest franchise in history.
I will say that, three times is very impressive. The only runner-up team that I had that I actually really liked was the Jabronis.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
Jameer
good.
and Tyreek Hill. I mean, I think that's a solid base.
That's
I
pretty
obviously
stacked.
obviously Andy's Love Life I think is a good team, but I will say Devon Achane, don't feel as good about that guy anymore. Gotta say. So, all righty. Well, we'll get into it.
You're our side GM. You don't like our keeper running back.
I just see a lot of Twitter, and I don't like what I see. That's all I have to say about that guy. So, got the Rashi Rice vibes going, although he's not a criminal. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. I believe when we did a couple episodes ago, I think we did a keeper mock draft, and I think we deemed that Figure It Out and Jabronis were like the highest ranked teams just based off keepers. So you nailed it right there.
Well, I'm in next year in the expansion.
Okay. We've got pick number one here. The Tinker Soldiers. They are being led by Jonathan Taylor at running back, Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. What do you think they're doing? They've got 4 months to think about the first overall selection. Come early September, what direction are they going in?
This is a tough one. It's always like, do you go with a quarterback? I mean, I don't play keeper league, so I don't.
We don't take many QBs too high.
I wouldn't say the first round, but what I'm saying is that, like, am I trying to maybe like line up a wide receiver with the quarterback later on? Like I'm thinking of a lot of things,
Yeah. We've
Jonathan
a lot
Taylor.
of things too. We've got keeper future. We've got you want to win right now. We're standard scoring. You know that. You and I have many discussions about players and where we see them, and I'm always saying standard, man, standard.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, take us away.
Um, Honestly, I like that team, but I want a running back to go with my other running back, and I'm going to be taking Derrick Henry.
Okay. Big pick. Derrick Henry is no unfamiliar face to the first overall pick or potential first overall pick in the Rad League. So
I think we're going back in time. Like Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry would be, that's a solid group to start with.
that's
So
the group I had once upon a time, not
I
long
will
ago.
I will
You know
also
that?
say I will also say, just throw this out there, I'm very biased on running backs. I understand it's the wide receiver, big body, great hands. I get it, but the running back position is not dead in my eyes. So that's
Okay.
that's that's how I feel about running back.
I totally agree. That would give the Tinker Soldier Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson. Pretty strong. What do you see here at number 2? We have Eat My Grit. Uh, they are led by Kyron Williams at running back. I think I put Karen in the doc, but it is Kyron. And wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Detroit Lions.
This is a tough one because Kyron Williams, I mean, we all know he was a free agent for a long time, right? That guy's maybe a little undervalued. He is a good player. I think with this pick, though, I got to go with Puka.
Puka Nacua. Wow, double Rams. Kyron, Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This would give, 2 elite wide receivers to eat my grit.
I
This
will say just quickly on that. I mean, if you're going with Puka, you're thinking that Stafford's taking them to the bowl. Like you gotta believe that they're winning
Yeah.
it. So that's my eye.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good pick. Number 3, the Jabronis, one of your favorite keeper teams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Tyreek Hill. They have obviously you looked at the first pick and you went running back. That's the type of guy you are. Second pick, you went Puka and doubled down on the Rams, which last year, I had Achane and Waddle. I loved having 2 guys on the same team. I had Lamar and Gus. It was fun. Um, Gibbs, Tyreek Hill, not really weak at any position. Where do you see this?
I think that this is the time you got to take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow. Rookie
Yeah,
wide receiver.
pair him with the other with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the rookie and the older guy. That is Gibbs, Harrison, Tyreek. That's a lot of swagger on that team. That's a lot of ballers. Okay. Number 4, greatest show on paper. This team now they have back-to-back picks, 4 and 5.
back-to-back picks. Okay.
Their only keepers, Bijan Robinson. They once upon a time did have Jalen Hurts, trade him away for a first rounder, and back-to-back picks in the first round plus Bijan Robinson, not too bad.
So right now, greatest show on paper is pissed that Marvin Harrison just went off the board if this happens in real life. Rattled,
Exactly.
okay?
Exactly.
They are pissed off, okay?
And they used to have AJ Brown, your boy.
Right.
He was their
So
keeper last year.
so with this pick, Bijan Robinson's a good start, right? I'm taking Josh Jacobs to pair with him.
The dog, Josh Jacobs.
And this is where that running back bias comes in because I mean, I don't know. I just, you know what? He's a good player on a bad team for those couple years, but man, Jordan Love, God, that's going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I like it. Then what do you see them doing with their second first round pick right after?
So sorry, which team? Whose is this team? Like, who is running this team again?
Rocco is his name.
Rocco. Okay, so I don't know who.
He came in the expansion class at the same time as Zach. So 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, so I don't know how he'd go here, but like if he's fan of a wide receiver, I could see him going like a Devonte Adams.
Wow. Okay. So Devonta Adams, Josh Jacobs, and then Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, and again, I think that's a pretty solid base there too. So
Yeah. Okay. Something to think about there for GSOP, picking in the middle of the first round. Next up, Andy's Love Life, pick 6. Devon Achane, who you've said how you felt about him, and CeeDee Lamb. Where do you see us going here?
this is a tough one, but I can see us going off the board here with a Drake London and going with, our Falcons, not my team, sorry, but your Falcons. Just, I don't know. That's a sneaky good player.
Yeah, it is a good player. Kirk Cousins obviously coming in. He was their best receiver last year with a shit QB. Yeah, I won't speak too much on it because it's our pick, but
Yeah, okay.
okay, well that kind of wraps up the first six. It was Derrick Henry, followed by Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison, Josh Jacobs, Devonta Adams, Drake London in the top six there. Um, Jackrabbits are our next team. They've got back-to-back picks again, 7 and 8. They are led by Sam Laporta. That's all they got. They did have Travis Etienne, sent him packing not long ago, essentially to get this first round pick.
Tough decision. That's a tough decision. With this pick, I'm thinking that they want a dog. That's Isaiah Pacheco. So another running back. The way that that guy runs, violent runner on a good team. That's a good pick at that.
That's a player that you say a dog. We always call Josh Jacobs the dog in our league, and this guy used to keep Josh Jacobs, so it'd be, old dog in, right? Old dog out, new dog in.
Yep.
And then pick number 8, who are they following that up with? They've got tight end and running back.
This pick just solely depends on if you think you can replace the wide receiver position in the next subsequent rounds.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
Wow. First QB off the board.
Yep.
QB, RB, tight end, and you think
You know
they
what?
can hammer out receiver later.
I don't know, I know you guys play for the glory of the game, and that means a lot. No money's on the line, it's just honor.
There is money. There is money.
Okay, there's money too. Okay.
Like I won, I don't know, like $700 maybe last year for winning it, something like that.
That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Anyway, I think if you're going all in with a quarterback to win the Super Bowl this year, he was great last year. Do it now. And then if you're good at, you're confident with filling those positions later, go ahead. You already have a tight end. So number one thing is a tight end in the draft. You already have it. Draft a bunch of wide receivers and running backs. That's my strategy.
Wow. Okay, so you hit those onesie positions early, and I didn't know you were a Lamar guy like me.
I'd rather have the best quarterback in the league. I think that'll win you the chip if you have
So
the
you're
number
taking
one.
Lamar over Josh Allen?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, with Diggs
100%.
walking out.
100%. You know what? I'm a big Curtis Samuel guy, but he ain't gonna this year. No.
Okay. Next up, 9th pick, figure it out. Led by Barkley of your Eagles, Jamar Chase. We all know him and Joe Burrow back in their days at LSU. Again, this is another team kind of like Jabroni's. They got a stud at both the keeper positions. Where are they going?
And who was the guy that I picked for the Jabroni? Sorry, the last guy?
Marvin Harrison, receiver.
Marvin Harrison. So with this pick, I'm thinking they go a little bit off the board here, and I'm going Travis Etienne.
He's a keeper. He's not available.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All good. So yeah, I guess this is our first error. I sent you 20 players, and I was like, if you think there's anyone that could be added.
No, it's not.
Like,
it's because my fantasy pros thing is like it's just a bunch of names.
Yeah. But like ETN, Jalen Hurts. Trying to think anyone else that could be on there. It's keepers.
No, honestly, with this pick,
Kelsey's a keeper.
I like this guy. I had him last year. The only issue I have, I'll say it, it's Kenneth Walker. Okay. The only issue I have with Walker is that, he's a good runner, but sometimes when the game script gets so negative there, it's just not fun to own this guy. So I'll say it Kenneth Walker though.
Yeah, that's a good pick. He's a similar kind of guy to ETN.
Yeah.
Different like situations, but yeah, that's a good pick. And then next up, 10th pick, the vacuum cleaners, a little bit of history on them. They've had the 10th pick, the final pick, I think 3 out of 5 years in this league.
Wow.
I think they've had maybe 3 to 6, can't remember, but they're no stranger to the turn. They've got Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson. I mean, obviously, what do you think about that keeper? They've got 2 picks to turn here. Are they going to get, another running back, another receiver, and just be like set like that? Or, do you like a quarterback around now? They've got 2 in a row. So even though we're just doing the first round, we'll get a little bonus pick for them.
That's fine. I'm going Jalen Waddle.
Okay. Speedster, receiver.
You got to hope that, well, you don't got to hope, but if, obviously injuries happen in fantasy football. Yeah. And any time that a Tyreek Hill doesn't play for whatever reason, this guy elevates himself to a really high tier wide receiver 1. So it's a younger guy too, maybe,
Yeah, good pick. So bonus pick. Second round, pick number one. Who are they going on this back to back?
This is a tough one too. Honestly, I'm going with a Mark Andrews.
Wow. Big Ravens this year. Lamar and Andrews going first round, early
I
second.
think that's, I mean, obviously the knee issue, but if he's over that, then I mean, this is typically one of the best wide receivers in the league. So,
Their best tight ends, but yeah.
sorry, best 10. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. You know, that has it. Our first round, we had a QB go off the board, a tight end in the bonus pick. We started out running back, hit some receiver in the first round. That's based off who you picked there. Any new teams that are your new favorites based off who they're able to add in the first round?
Ah, you know what? I like our I say our team because I am the assistant GM, but I like where we went.
Hmm.
I think that the vacuum cleaners, though, I think that you'd be surprised, like with a Justin Jefferson and a Breece Hall on a like. I'll give Zach some credit there. I mean, there's some high upside, even though he's been in that last pick, right? So,
Yeah, doesn't
uh,
mean last place, although he did come last place last year, but
yeah, I
yeah,
do also
I'm
like
there for
the
that.
Jabroni still like I think might be the strongest team. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that might be my number one actually
Yeah,
after.
Tyreek, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not listed here is the Inferno. They do not have a first round pick. They were last year's runner up, my opponent in the finals. They have Christian McCaffrey, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, James Cook. They acquired two different keepers this offseason,
Yep.
and they still have third round draft picks as well. So they don't pick in rounds 1 and 2, but they've got multiple in the third.
They got to hit on some guys like the Stephon Diggs, the T Higgins, those guys, Devontae. Like they gotta
Yeah.
get some guys like that.
Yeah. And then also not listed the bench warmers. The bench warmers have been to the most finals ever in the Rad League, Damien, but he's never won it. I
Wow, that's tough.
he might have be tied with Mike for the most Rad League finals appearances. Maybe me too. I've been there three. I think he's been there three or four. Four seems high, so maybe it's just three, but he has Travis Kelsey, and that's it.
Wow.
No,
Ugh.
he's Etienne. He's Etienne. He's Travis Kelsey,
And that's
Travis
the guy that I was
Etienne,
thinking.
and
I
then
got you.
no first round pick.
That's the aging team. That's the team where the guys are getting too old. You're gonna have to do a
Yeah.
180 there. Interesting. No, I mean everyone can make it work. You got to make the good picks here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that concludes our first round mock draft. We're so happy to finally have you on here to the Rad League podcast. One of the biggest supporters on Twitter, helping to grow the game. So hopefully we get a couple more of these in the season. And yeah, any final remarks?
Just good luck to all the teams. And just remember that, you know what, if I drafted Nick Chubb last year, so I know. If I get hurt, it'll still be okay though. So just keep with it. And yeah, I enjoy the league a lot. So appreciate you having me on.
All right. Cheers.